Hello everybody, hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor, we're back here with a rumour mill. We've got some even more fantastic news, everybody, and I'm going to get to it in just a little bit, but thank you so much for all of your continued support on the One Leeds Fan Channel. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving this time, so thank you so much. We're galvanising. The analytics are going mental at this moment in time, so thank you so much. Patreon is available, guys. We've already got your player ratings on there. We'll have another podcast coming on Monday for you guys as well. We've got YouTube memberships as well. So, yeah, all the good stuff is over there, so make sure you're checking on that. But also, guys, I love your support on here as well, so thank you so much. Please like on the video. It just gives me an indication that you're enjoying the Room Mill, and we've kept the Room Mill going even through match day. We'll have the 3 things that we learned after today's win over Cardiff tomorrow, Sunday morning for you guys as well. But we're back here with some good news, in my opinion. Now, according to Seb Ekrevane Foot, who is an LBCDS journalist. Now, I don't normally quote who the journalist is in particular, but this is a bit of a decent one. This guy's got a few things bang on. Mentioned something about Jed Spence going to Genoa a little bit. And he also was discussing Luke Ayling earlier on this week. And he has said, I quote everybody, that talks are underway between Leeds United and West Ham for defender Ben Johnson. Now, I think it's absolutely essential at this moment in time that, we don't get carried away. We don't get carried away with everything that's gone on with today's game. It's obviously a huge game for Leeds United. It's a huge win for Leeds because I think our away form has been pretty poor, to be honest. Not in terms of, not always in terms of results, but in terms of performances as well. Leeds just simply have to be better. We have to be better in these situations. And today we're very, very good. And it was very decent in terms of the level of what we performed at. I think it was actually the away performance of the season, in my personal opinion. A lot of people were saying Leicester, but it's good that we've got 2 comparatives there, with regards to both clubs. So, to both teams, I should say, that Leeds United face. So, yeah, I think it's very, very essential that we go in to this January window, as mentioned right now, still with the same impetus in terms of getting the fullbacks in and getting the fullbacks signed for Leeds United. I still think, to be honest with you guys, that Ben Johnson, if he was to come in, who would be a decent addition. I've not watched a lot of Ben Johnson, but from what I've been told, he's one of the better additions. I've spoken to a couple of West Ham fans who say positionally he's not great, his awareness isn't great, but then I've spoken to a few other people in the general football media who seem to believe that his ceiling is extremely high. His contract is up at the end of the summer, of course. So Leeds, if they're able to get it done in January, would get him on a loan, similarly to what's happening with Leeds Borough and Luke Ayling. Luke Ayling got 90 minutes today, so shout out to Luke and let's hope his career goes to a really good level as well. So, continues, I should say. But yeah, so Leeds right now have a very, very good player in that spot in terms of the right back spot in Archie Gray, who has got an 8 out of 10 for me on the player ratings. I'll give you that one for free, everybody. You'd have to go onto the Patreon for that one. But yeah, he was very, very good for me today. And I actually think if Ben comes in, there's still going to be a problem for Ben getting in the side. I still think we're going to see Daniel Farke, even with a Ben Johnson in the building, starting with Archie Gray at right back. It seems to be his protege, his project. He did it with Aarons at Norwich, and it feels like he's not going to move from that. We know with Daniel Farke that he's a very, very stubborn man. Good way and can be in the bad way, I'm sure, as well, equal measure. But he will not be moving Archie Gray, in my opinion, away from that position. So what do you guys think? Would Ben Johnson be brought in for depth? Would it be sort of a scenario, where Archie Gray is just the mainstay and, whoever comes in has to be good enough to replace him, which isn't a bad thing, really, in my opinion. Football is based on a meritocracy. Football is based on a meritocracy. And right now, what you're seeing with Archie Gray is continued performances which are going to make Daniel Farke question certain things. Now, personally, when it comes to a defensive capacity, I think against Miller, Preston, I think against Jack Clark, I think against Mavididi in areas he struggled with those sort of direct wingers running at him. And I think that will always be an area of weakness for Leeds United. So I think you need to get a standard right back who has been used to his entire career at elite level wingers, which Ben Johnson, Premier League level. I know he's not played a large amount of games for West Ham United, but he's played a decent level. he's used to very, very good wingers, and especially at the developmental level, very good wingers running at him and testing him. And there's a certain aptitude that a fullback will have to facing wingers as opposed to a central midfielder, even though Archie has played right back for England. So I would still be looking at buying a right back and putting a right back in over Archie Gray, and then having that competition between Gruev, Ampadu, Kamara and Archie for those double pivot spots. And I think that's really, really healthy. What we saw today as well was Ethan Ampadu, who was using that left foot as well, providing that balance within that back line. And almost showing a side to him which we've not seen before, I've not seen before, in terms of him being able to pass very, very well with that left foot, almost as good as his right foot. But he had the whole pitch in front of him today, did Ethan? And with the whole pitch in front of him, gave him the real encouraging sort of notion to just pass and pass and pass. And I thought those clip balls in to Patrick Bamford in particular, in the channels and in those areas, we're really working a treat for Leeds. We're really working a treat. And it's just nice to see that even with Strauch out, I know it's game states, I know certain games will fix and will fit Ethan Ampadu. Maybe a long ball team, it'll worry him a little bit more, but it's all about using your body in those centre-back positions, especially when you're not the height of Joe Rodon or Pascal Strauch. It's about using the bodies in intelligent ways. You know, Mascherano and Puyol made a career out of doing so. So, yeah, I'm encouraged by what I saw today. I really am. But the Ben Johnson link is something which gets me excited because it's actually Leeds still pursuing a right-back option. Previously, what the problem with what we've done before as a club is we've been reactionary. So we've seen a player do well, or we've seen a manager do well, and instead of acting in an efficient way, what we've done is we've lived in the moment, and it's been a short-term thing. What they're doing now, hopefully with someone like Ben Johnson, and hopefully with someone like maybe Borna Barisic, is thinking about a long-term effect, and not just having the fullbacks in this vibey moment right now, because Archie will go through a few more sticky patches. He'll end the season with an 8 out of 10 rating, in my opinion. I think he's been a revelation for Leeds United in every position, central midfield included, of course. But today he was excellent, but it is really, really key to not just get swept away with the emotion today. It's really, really key to still, as a fan base, look on fullbacks as an absolute necessity, because Archie will go through dips. He's a young lad. We still don't want him playing every single minute this season. So if he plays every single minute this season, there's going to be a real detriment on the body there, and we need to really manage him. He's been exceptional for Leeds this season, but a Ben Johnson, addition to this side, hopefully, and according to many, will be a really nice one. And discussions are underway for a possible move. And obviously, we know he's an experienced player. We know it's a Premier League option. You remember his breakthrough back in 2021 under David Moyes, and his contract is running down. Apparently, he's very, very unhappy at West Ham, and he's just not getting ahead of Vladimir Kufal in the pecking order. So I think what we've got to figure out now, is Ben Johnson willing to come to Championship level? And you'd assume so, because I can't imagine there's going to be a Premier League team risking that, really, when you look at him, because obviously, a lower league Premier League club, maybe a Luton potentially could be an option for him. But of what we know right now, of what we've seen on the airwaves, and we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but Leeds are the club that are in for him. And I'm happy with that. I am happy with that overall. I trust the recruitment team at the 49ers. There's been points where I've given my opinion and maybe where I've not agreed with certain things they've done in terms of players coming in. However, overall, they've done an exceptional job, and you've got to put your trust in them, but they have to be proactive. They have to get deals done in this window. Leeds can't just hobble into the February and March months. I was listening to a footballer's interview the other day, and he was saying that in January, it gives the entire side a boost, and in the entire side a boost when signings are made. It's exciting for the players as well as the fans. And, I'm currently watching Ipswich right now, and Ipswich have brought in Blackburn's captain in Travers, and they've brought in Jeremy Sarmiento. It excites the squad, an exciting new winger and, a championship veteran. and it bolsters that squad, doesn't it? So Leeds need to do something really similar. We need to keep up with the other side of things, and I think we will do. I'm still hoping for 2 or 3 new signings. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Rumour Mill. Please watch the content. You'll have timestamps on them all. You'll have Patreon content, and make sure you're a YouTube member as well, everybody. You get a nice little emoji next to your name after 1 or 2 months, which I'm sure you'll enjoy. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Catch you on the other side. Cheers.